is Lori, my nickname is Reenie, and I'd like to welcome you to Reenie Bobini Creations. If this is the first time you've stopped by to check out my channel, welcome. I do hope you like what you see. If you do, please give it a thumbs up, consider subscribing and sharing with your fellow crafters. If you've been to see me before and you're back, I am so grateful that you are. It means the world to me. And if you would consider subscribing and leaving me a comment, any of that, I would absolutely love it if you would. So for today's craft, I had an idea. I found this jug at the thrift store, which you'll see here shortly. And I had a pretty good idea what I wanted to do, but it wasn't going as smoothly as I hoped. And I got to a certain point and I thought, I don't know if this is going to work out at all. But I thought, well, I filmed this much, so I'll keep filming. Worst thing that happens is I just don't post it. But actually, it turned out better than I was expecting. So I am pleased with the final result. It is one of those pieces you can customize with your colors. I mean, the possibilities with colors and patterns and stuff for this one are completely endless. It's wonderful. And I liked it so much I ended up doing a matching bowl for it, which you'll see at the end. So do stick around. It's not a difficult craft at all. Super easy for anyone. And you can kind of use just about any jug. My problem was, as you'll see, mine had an imprint in it that I wanted to get rid of. And the plaster wasn't sticking real well, but in the end, it ended up working. So let me stop yakking at you, and we'll get on with the crafting. Okay, so those are those palm trees I'm trying to get rid of here, and I'll use this spackling here to do that. It's just, I don't even know what brand, it doesn't matter. And obviously if your jug doesn't have it, or if you have a pattern that you don't mind being in there, then you can leave it and entirely skip this step. But I'm just going to work it in with my fingers. And I'm going to work it into all of those spots to smooth them out. I'm going to let the spackle dry overnight. I will give it a sand down, and then I'm probably going to have to do a second coat. So do the same thing over top, smoothing it down, and sand it again. Okay, so I've got it sanded down. Now you can see it is by no means perfect, and I'm finding that as I layer it, it's starting to flake off and do the bubble thing. So I think this is going to be just fine for our purposes anyway. What we're going to do is going to hide any of those imperfections, but it's going to get rid of that palm tree thing that I did not want on there. So the next thing I'm going to do is I am just going to go ahead and give it a coat of white paint, just so that our next step we're going to do some Mod Podging, and just to make sure it's going to stick. So okay, so there's our jug all given another coat of paint, and again, I know it looks crappy right now. It won't when we're done. It'll look much better, I promise. So the next thing we are going to do is do the Mod Podge, and I found these napkins. I think these ones are from the Dollarama, or they might be from our local field store, but either way they were incredibly inexpensive. I think I bought the whole pack for $1.50 or something, but I really liked. I love the little bees on them. The flowers and the colors are going to work perfect in my house, and I just thought these were super cute. So I'm going to use these actually on my deck, and my deck colors are red, white, and black with some yellow thrown in, so that's about as perfect as I can get. So the first thing you want to do, if you've never done this, now napkins are usually 2 or 3 ply. Now usually when you get the ones at the dollar store, often they're just the 2. But I'm kind of thinking this one might be a 3 ply. Yep, 3 ply. And they do come apart very easily once you find the corner. So you want to get down to that 1 ply, so that's what you're left with. And I never throw these out. I just hang on to them. They're good for blotting your paintbrushes, or you know, you can use them in other ways for other projects. So I just hang on to them for other things. But you don't need these for this project anymore, so you can set those aside. Now I am simply going to tear it. I'm not cutting them. I'm kind of going to decide what I want sort of in the middle, which will probably be some of those bees that I think are super cute. But aside from that, there's no rhyme or reason. I'm just going to tear it and start Mod Podging this on. And again, because it's going on my deck, which is covered, but just to be sure, I am going to use the dishwasher safe Mod Podge, and I am going with the gloss on this as well. So like I said, just going to simply tear it. So I'll just find, I think I'll start over here. And I like the, I mean, you can cut it for sure. There's no reason you couldn't. I like the torn look of it. And I'm kind of, I guess, going for that sort of chintz look from, you know, years ago kind of thing. I think that's sort of the look that I'm after here. Oh, there's my brush. And so I am going to start just by putting, I'm going to put Mod Podge first on the jug itself. And no fancy way to do it, just put it on. And I'm going to try and it is going to crease. That's going to happen. There's no way around it, and that's okay. That's kind of part of the look. You can already see with the crinkling and everything. And we are going to age it when we're done to make it kind of look like cracked china almost, I guess. So the wrinkles are fine, they're good. They're gonna help that look at the end. And now you can't see all those little holes and little imperfections that I couldn't get quite right doing the drywall mud without putting a million layers on, and you can't even tell. And so that's what we're gonna do all over it. And so just tearing them into strips and pieces, and nothing, like I said, no rhyme or reason to it. I'm just putting them on however. Okay, so it's all dry and Mod Podged on. I really like this. I love the bees. I just love the bees on this. So the next thing I'm going to do is antique it, and I'm going to do, I looked at a cracked teacup actually, and it's sort of like there's a blend of sort of black or gray and the browns in the cracks of them, and I'm kind of wanting to go for that look. So I'm using a dry brush. This is my old crappy one that gets stiff and hard, and that's what we want, so that's why I keep it around. I use it a ton. I'm just going to dip my brush in the paint, wipe most of it off, and then just starting at the bottom, and I still have too much on there, you're just going to lightly rub across. And so anywhere you have a ridge, I don't know if you can see that real well, because you don't want, you want it to be subtle. You don't want it to be like black. The black will stand out on those little ridges and make it have that sort of cracked porcelain look, if you know what I mean. So I'm going to do a combination with the black and the brown, and I'm going to go over the whole thing. And these are the pieces we peeled off for the 2-ply, so they did come in handy. And I'm just going to go around. And I think the other thing that I'm going to do also, just so you know, is like, because I've got these raised bed on my hand, I'm going to add some depth to those with both the black and the brown. And I'm just going to make them look a little bit aged, like they've been around a while and they're not brand new. And I'm just going to go until I'm happy with the look that I have. So just gently, with almost no paint on your brush, like it doesn't even look like there's anything on there, and that's what you want. And it'll just bring out, like I said, those ridges and those little areas, and I'm hoping it kind of gives it that look. So I'm going to go work on this, and when I have it finished, hopefully it will show up a little bit better than it's showing now, and I'll come back and show you the final result of that. Okay, so I did go ahead and I finished dry brushing, and I like it just very lightly, but you can see how you can kind of see those ridges a little bit more now, and it kind of gives it that almost like a cracked porcelain look, which is what I was going for. There may be a few more spots I want to touch up as I'm looking at it in different light here, but and then I just kind of distressed a bit on the handle and just a little bit around the rim as well. So the last steps I'm going to do here is I am going to give it one more coat of the dishwasher safe Mod Podge, because as I said, this one's going outside, so I want it to be good and protected. And then I'm going to give it, even after this, this might be enough to protect it, but I'm also going to give it a spray varnish, because I want it to be shinier than even though this says gloss, it's not quite as glossy as I'd like, and I have a good spray on varnish that'll take care of that. So that's going to be my last steps. So again, nothing fancy about painting on the Mod Podge, just use a brush and paint it on, and when I've got that all done, I will show you the final product. So this is what it looked like when it was all done, and I really had some misgivings about how it was going to turn out, but I'm really pleased with the final result. And there is the bowl that I said I liked it so much I did the matching bowl. So I hope you did like this craft. Love to see your take on it. Please leave something in my Facebook page. I'll leave the link below.